everybody, what's up? It's Grace, and right now I'm going to be talking about my end of the year TBR. All the books that I want to finish before the year ends, and it's almost December, which is insane because the year's almost over. This year flew by way fast. This video includes paid promotion with Disney-Hyperion, so thank you so much to them. I have 5 books here to show you, so let's get right on into it. So starting with the first 2 books that I want to read, they're part of a series. The first being Amateur is the Case Not Closed by Sara Shepard, and Follow Me, The Killer You Know, also by Sara Shepard. If you're familiar with Pretty Little Liars, she's the author of that, and that's a super popular book series along with the show. This series kind of has a similar vibe to that of like betrayal and crime and unsolved murders. With what the first book is about, 5 years ago, a girl named Helena Kelly was murdered, and her family was left with unanswered questions as to who her murderer was or why she was murdered in the first place. And our main character, Seneca Fraser, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, I'm not sure. She takes it upon herself to try and solve the case. She's a part of this message board on the internet of true crime, and Helena's case is posted on there, so since the case has went cold, she picks it up along with, I think, like 3 or 4 other people, and they go about trying to find the killer. However, the main character, Seneca, she has secrets of her own that can get in the way of this investigation, and that adds just a whole nother conflict. So that is what the first book is about. So the second book, Follow Me, we follow the same main character, Seneca, and it's just a different investigation. So in this one, a 21-year-old social media star goes missing, and there's similarities between this case and Helena's murder, because Helena and Chelsea, the 21-year-old social media star that went missing, they look eerily alike. One of the girls that's helping in this investigation, Erin, Helena's her sister, so she has a personal link to this case. Seneca thinks she knows who the murderer is, so she's following that link, but not everything is as it seems, and you just don't know. So I'm really excited. I love crime novels because they just make me never want to stop reading them. I could read them in one sitting, especially with Sara Shepard because her writing is extremely addictive, so I am very excited to read these 2. The next book that I want to read, I'm actually currently reading, and I'm sure you guys, you know what it is, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by none other than John Green. I haven't read a John Green novel in like forever because he hasn't released one in forever, but I started reading John Green when I didn't really read a lot. I love his books, I love his writing, but on reflection and then on rereading them, I find it really hard to differentiate his characters because his storyline along with the characters just kind of mesh together for me, so I have trouble differentiating them. Nevertheless, I really do enjoy his stories, but I'm excited to read this now that I'm older and I've read a lot more, so I know what I really truly like. Well, I didn't read the synopsis when going into this book because I just don't really want to know a lot. I'm only 20 pages in, so from what I know, we follow a young girl, her name is Azza. She's a junior in high school. And she sees on the news that this billionaire is a fugitive and there's a reward like of $100,000 to capture him. And she realizes that he's the dad of one of the boys that she went to camp with that she really liked. And her friend is telling her, let's go find this guy, let's redeem this reward. And I believe that she's just going on the mission of trying to find this guy, and she sort of has feelings for this fugitive billionaire's son, so obviously that's gonna mess with things, but I think it's gonna be great. I just want to love this book as much as my 15-year-old self loved The Fault in Our Stars, so that's what I'm hoping for. The next book I want to read, I need to read this, and that is Finnegan of the Rock by Melina Marchetta. This is a epic high fantasy series. I believe the following books are part of, I think they're companion novels, so we don't follow the same protagonist, which I really enjoy that storyline. It always feels like fresh and new. I don't know anything about this series besides it, you know, being high fantasy, and there's a really cool magic system in it. All I know is that a lot of people that I trust who are extreme high fantasy fans, this is one of their favorite series, and I trust them with all my heart. So I really, really want to read this, and I haven't read a high fantasy book in what seems like forever. It really has been forever, so I really gotta read this, and I want to love it. I want to love it so much. The next book I want to read is a historical fiction, and that is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. I absolutely love Ruta Sepetys. I read her Between Shades of Grey and Salt to the Sea, which are both World War II novels, which I recommend. This one is set in the 1920s. We follow a girl named Josie. Her mother is a brothel prostitute, and Josie wants to get out of that lifestyle, kind of get away from her mother's reputation and go to school. Things get complicated when she gets tangled up in this investigation of a murder, because I think somehow she becomes either a suspect or she's helping solve the case, I'm not sure. She's caught between this and going to elite college, so that adds like a huge conflict. And I think it's just going to be a great coming of age story set in the 1920s about a girl trying to make a name for herself with having a bad reputation of being a prostitute's daughter. I've not read a lot of books set in the 20s, but I've read like 5 or something and I absolutely love them. They're just fun and different, and I really hope to love this as much as I loved her previous 2 books. I've read a lot of reviews on this. People say it's slower than the 2 books I mentioned, but something that I really do love about Ruta Sepetys, her writing, is it flows really nicely, and her chapters are 1 to 3 pages, or like 2 to 3 pages. And I find when books are written in that format, I tend to fly through them because I'm like, 1 more chapter, but 1 chapter is only 3 pages, so I'm like, hey, how about 60 chapters? And then I'm done with the book. I've always read, well, I've only read 2 books by her, but I read those in 1 sitting, so I hope to read this in 1 sitting. So those are all the books that I want to hopefully finish by the end of the year. I think I could do it. I'm in a reading mood. I've read like 6 books in since my last video, and I really do need to do a wrap up eventually because I haven't done one since last October. That's wild. And I want to catch up on all the good books that I've been reading. So if you read any of these and you want to tell me your thoughts, I would love to know, or what you think that I should read by the end of the year. If it's like a necessity, I will take that into consideration. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a great time wherever you're at, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.